Sagittarius, do not trust her. A woman very close to you will surprise you. Sagittarius, your heart has always been your compass. You believe in honesty, in giving people the benefit of the doubt, in trusting that sincerity will call sincerity back. But lately, something in your intuition has been whispering a truth your mind refuses to face. There's a woman close to you, someone you've supported, defended, and perhaps even loved in your own quiet, loyal way, whose energy no longer feels right. You can't quite explain it, but your soul feels it. The unease that rises when her name appears on your phone, the small ache in your chest when she speaks with too much sweetness, the exhaustion that follows every encounter. That isn't coincidence, Sagittarius. It's revelation preparing to surface. You see, your generosity has never been weakness. It's been your divine language. But someone has learned to speak it fluently for their own gain. They've studied your patterns, how your optimism makes you overlook small inconsistencies, how your compassion blinds you to hidden motives, how your faith in others often surpasses their faith in you. This woman has been feeding off your open-heartedness, disguising dependency as devotion and manipulation as need. The truth that's about to come to light will hurt, but it will also free you. It's not betrayal meant to break you. It's divine intervention meant to awaken you. Because when Sagittarius sees the truth, they never go back to illusion. Take a breath. The revelation is near, and it's the one your intuition has been waiting for. The woman behind the mask. Sagittarius, your soul has a radar for truth. Even when you try to silence it, it hums beneath the noise of logic and loyalty. That radar has been warning you for a while now. Through restless thoughts, subtle irritations, and moments of unease that make no rational sense. You've told yourself you're imagining things, that you're being unfair or overly sensitive. But deep down you know better. What you're feeling is not paranoia. It's perception. You're sensing a deception so carefully woven that even your fiery intuition has struggled to burn through it. Until now, there is a woman in your life who has studied you like a map. She knows where your compassion turns into obligation, where your loyalty overrides your logic, and where your faith becomes a doorway she can quietly walk through. She understands that you want to see the good in people, that you'd rather believe in redemption than betrayal. And she's used that light in you as her camouflage. Think back to the moments when she appeared just when you needed comfort, when her timing felt almost mystical. At first you thought it was divine connection, a soulmate friendship, maybe even a karmic bond. But now you're starting to realize it wasn't synchronicity, it was strategy. She has learned the rhythm of your emotional seasons, showing up when your defenses are low and fading, when your spirit begins to question. Her presence has never been random. It's been calculated. You've probably started to notice the emotional patterns. The way you always leave interactions with her feeling subtly drained. The way your wins seem to make her uneasy. The way her compliments carry the faint aftertaste of control, like praise given not to celebrate you, but to keep you in orbit. She's mastered the art of playing small to keep your protective instincts alive, knowing you can't resist the role of the rescuer. You, Sagittarius, the eternal optimist, the healer of broken souls. How could you ever ignore someone who claims to need your light? But here's what she didn't count on. You are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of truth, expansion, and divine justice. And the truth has a way of catching up. No mask can survive under the light of your awareness once it decides to look directly. The universe is preparing to pull the curtain, not to punish you, but to show you the hidden exchanges of energy that have been happening behind your kindness. You might soon learn something, through a conversation, an accidental message, or even a sudden confession, that makes everything click at once. And when it does, the realization will hit like lightning. The inconsistencies you dismissed will align perfectly. The small doubts you buried will resurface as full sentences of truth. You'll see how this woman's patterns have always centered around your generosity. Financial, emotional, spiritual. Every time you gave, she took just a little more. Every time you set a boundary, she bent it until it broke. It's not that she's evil. It's that she's empty. She doesn't know how to generate her own energy, so she siphons it from those who overflow. You became her sun, and instead of basking in your warmth, she tried to own it. You mistook her dependence for devotion because it mirrored your deepest Sagittarian virtue, the need to believe that your love can heal. But now, you're reaching the sacred crossroads where discernment must replace hope. The lesson isn't to stop being generous. It's to stop giving without consciousness. Your fire is meant to illuminate, not to be consumed. Every act of compassion needs to be guided by awareness, not guilt. You are not responsible for saving those who are committed to their own cycles of manipulation. When the revelation comes, it will sting. You'll feel the sharp burn of betrayal, the ache of realizing that someone memorized your kindness only to use it as leverage. You'll replay conversations wondering how you missed the signs. But don't let that reflection turn into self-blame. You didn't fail to see her. You chose to see her potential instead of her patterns. You saw her spirit when she only showed you her strategy. That is not naivete, that is love in its purest form. And it's time to reclaim that purity for yourself. You might remember times she questioned your intuition, dismissed your instincts, or subtly mocked your spiritual practices. These weren't harmless comments. They were calculated attempts to disconnect you from the one thing that could expose her: your inner knowing. Because the moment you fully trust your intuition, her influence dissolves. That's what's happening now. The fog is lifting. The emotional spell is breaking. And the woman behind the mask is about to be revealed not by drama, but by divine timing. The truth will not come to destroy you, Sagittarius. It will come to free you. You're about to understand that protection is also a form of love. That boundaries are not walls, but sacred gates of self-respect. You'll see how every uncomfortable feeling you ignored was your higher self whispering, "Pay attention, my love. This isn't alignment, it's extraction." You've spent your life believing that trust is something earned by others. But now the universe is teaching you the opposite. That trust begins with you. You can no longer outsource your intuition to appearances, stories, or emotional debts. You must return to the temple within, to that silent knowing that has never once lied to you. So when this truth arrives, and it will, don't react with vengeance. React with wisdom. Don't burn bridges, illuminate them. Let truth reveal itself without rage. Because once the light of Sagittarius truth touches deceit, it doesn't need to destroy. It simply dissolves everything false until only authenticity remains. This isn't about losing faith in others. It's about reclaiming faith in yourself. The anatomy of manipulation. Sagittarius, one of your greatest gifts, and paradoxically one of your most painful lessons, is your belief in human goodness. You walk through life with open arms, trusting that sincerity will always be met with sincerity. You don't give halfway. When you love, you offer your whole sky. But this woman, the one the universe is about to unmask, has been studying that light inside you, not to mirror it, but to manage it. She's been building her own security out of your sunshine. And the reason you didn't see it sooner isn't blindness. It's purity. You never expected deception from someone you treated with genuine care. Let's walk through her pattern step by step, not to relive the pain but to reclaim your power. Every manipulator begins by identifying what the other person most fears losing. For you, it's trust. You crave genuine connection, loyalty, depth. She saw that instantly, so she built her approach around that need. She learned the exact rhythm of your emotional generosity. When to appear, when to retreat, when to apologize just enough to keep your heart open. At first, she presented herself as everything you long to see in others. Sincere, vulnerable, spiritually curious. She listened when you spoke of your dreams, and you mistook her curiosity for intimacy. What she was really doing was gathering information, data about what calms you, what triggers you, what makes you feel heroic, what makes you feel responsible. Every confession you made became a key she could later use to unlock your defenses. Notice how she crafted moments that made you feel indispensable. She'd say things like, "You're the only one who understands me," or, "I don't know what I'd do without you." For a heart like yours, those words felt sacred. They called out your inner teacher, the healer, the guide who longs to help. But behind them was calculation. Every declaration of dependence was a string tied quietly around your freedom. Over time, she trained you to equate love with labor. She taught you that being needed was proof of being valued. That to deny her requests meant being cold or unkind. And you, guided by compassion, kept giving time, energy, attention, forgiveness. What began as generosity evolved into obligation, then into exhaustion. You may have noticed how your energy felt strangely low after seeing her, as if the joy you entered with had been siphoned away by the end of each conversation. That isn't your imagination. Energy exchange is real. And you, Sagittarius, are an abundant source. People like her sense that abundance. They orbit it like planets around the sun. The subtlety of her manipulation is what makes it dangerous. She rarely demanded outright. Instead, she used guilt, flattery, or selective vulnerability to get what she wanted. If you ever pulled away, she'd suddenly become the victim, the misunderstood friend, the wounded woman who only needed more compassion. She learned your weakness, your inability to walk away when someone claims to need saving. She used that weakness like a net, and when you finally felt trapped, she would offer small crumbs of affection just to keep you tethered. This pattern doesn't make her powerful. It makes her empty. She's feeding off your emotional abundance because she hasn't learned how to generate her own. It's like someone stealing sunlight instead of learning to grow a flame. That's why the universe is stepping in now. Because your energy was never meant to sustain others who refuse to sustain themselves. You're not a battery, Sagittarius. You're a flame. And flames aren't meant to be drained. They're meant to illuminate. The upcoming revelation will reveal more than just deceit. It will reveal the why behind your silence. Why you kept justifying, minimizing, explaining her behavior away. Because on some level she represented something sacred to you. Your belief that kindness always wins. You didn't want to believe that your light could attract shadows. But that's exactly what light does. It reveals everything, including those who stand too close for the wrong reasons. And yet, here lies the paradox of your healing. Even after discovering her manipulation, part of you will still feel compassion for her. You'll see her as wounded, lost, spiritually undeveloped. And that's okay. Compassion doesn't mean returning to the dynamic. It means understanding without re-entering. You can forgive from afar without offering another chance to take advantage of your love. The coming weeks will test this new boundary. She might sense your energetic withdrawal and attempt to reel you back in. She'll use familiar tactics, apologies laced with self-pity, sudden crises that only you can solve, emotional appeals to your empathy. Remember, awareness is your armor. Every time you resist the urge to rescue, you reclaim a piece of your soul. Every time you choose stillness instead of reaction, you shift from prey to observer. Sagittarius, you are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and expansion. This betrayal is your teacher now. It's expanding your understanding of human nature, not to make you cynical but to make you sovereign. The woman who deceived you will never understand the lesson she triggered, but you will. You'll learn to discern energy the way others read faces. You'll feel manipulation long before it takes form. You'll recognize emotional dependency not as love but as imbalance. When the truth fully surfaces, you may cry, you may rage, but soon after, something beautiful will happen. You'll feel your power return to you. The fog will clear. You'll see your reflection again, strong, radiant, wise. You'll understand that your compassion doesn't make you naive. It makes you divine. And divinity is not meant to be drained. It's meant to be directed. So when the time comes and the mask falls, do not let anger define your response. Let clarity do the talking. Silence will be your final word, because when Sagittarius withdraws their energy, no manipulation can survive. You don't need revenge. Truth is already justice enough. This isn't the end of your faith in people. It's the beginning of your faith in discernment. The world still deserves your light, Sagittarius, but not everyone deserves direct access to it. You're learning to love with wisdom, to give with intention, and to protect your own warmth as fiercely as you once protected others. The woman's deception is temporary. Your awakening is eternal. The revelation and the reckoning. Sagittarius, revelation rarely arrives quietly. It comes like a sunrise you can't unsee, sudden, piercing, absolute. The truth about this woman will find you not when you go looking for it, but when you finally stop defending what your intuition has already whispered 100 times. You may hear it through a conversation that wasn't meant for your ears, a message that finds its way to you, or a strange moment when her mask slips and she forgets to act. However it unfolds, the realization will come with perfect divine timing, because the universe doesn't reveal truth to wound you. It reveals it to release you. At first, the shock will paralyze you. You'll replay her words in your mind, searching for sincerity that no longer exists. You'll question every interaction, every laugh, every tear you thought you shared. It's a painful kind of disorientation, to realize that someone who mirrored your energy so well was only rehearsing affection. The betrayal won't just be emotional, it will be spiritual. You'll feel it in your chest, in that sacred space where trust once lived. But beneath the pain, another feeling will quietly awaken. Clarity. The fog of confusion will lift, and you'll see her not as the character she performed, but as the energy she truly carries. You'll begin to connect the patterns. The way she always knew how to appear in moments that made you feel heroic. The way her crises always required your intervention. The way her affection always deepened when you were ready to pull away. It wasn't chaos, it was choreography. And once you see that dance clearly, you'll never again let anyone lead you through it. The most difficult moment will not be the discovery itself. It will be the confrontation within you. The part of you that wants to rage will meet the part that still loves. The part that wants to expose her will meet the part that still hopes she didn't mean harm. This internal clash isn't weakness. It's your spirit remembering compassion while your mind learns boundaries. Let both exist. You can be forgiving without being foolish. You can see someone's pain without allowing them to project it onto you. What will surprise you most is realizing how long your intuition had been trying to show you the signs. Those moments when your stomach tightened after talking to her. The days you felt inexplicably drained. The subtle jealousy hidden behind her compliments. These were all messages from your higher self saying, "This connection is not safe." But because you love to believe the best in people, you overrode your own instincts. You chose potential over pattern, and that, Sagittarius, is what ends today. When this truth arrives, you'll feel two waves move through you. The first is pain, sharp, undeniable, cleansing. The second is power, ancient, liberating, divine. You'll realize that while she may have played with your trust, she never truly had control over your light. She borrowed it, reflected it, and mistook it for her own. But your energy, once reclaimed, will burn brighter than ever. There will be a temptation to expose her, to make others see what you now know. Resist that urge. Truth needs no defense. The universe has its own ways of restoring balance, and they're far more poetic than any revenge you could imagine. Her mask will fall naturally as she loses access to your energy. People will start to notice what you saw too late, the inconsistencies, the small manipulations, the hidden hunger behind her kindness. That's not your work to manage. Your only task is to step out of the illusion and return to your integrity. The healing will not be instant. You'll have days when anger whispers, when sadness anchors, when doubt replays old moments trying to rewrite them. Be patient with yourself. You are not healing from her. You are healing from your own denial. The self-betrayal of knowing something felt wrong and convincing yourself it was fine. That's what hurts most. Not the lie itself, but the silence you maintained to preserve peace that was never real. But healing begins the moment you forgive yourself for not knowing sooner. As you rebuild, something profound will happen. Your perception will sharpen. You'll start noticing small energetic shifts in every interaction. You'll sense authenticity immediately, not by words but by vibration. And you'll recognize deception not as danger, but as data. You'll no longer take it personally. You'll simply step aside. That's how spiritual maturity feels. Peaceful, detached, wise. The Sagittarius who emerges from this revelation will be different. Not colder, clearer. Not suspicious, discerning. You'll no longer confuse attention for affection, or chaos for passion. You'll stop giving chances to people who mistake your compassion for consent. You'll stop teaching others how to take advantage of you by over-explaining your boundaries. Instead, you'll embody quiet authority, the kind that speaks once and doesn't need to justify. And here's the divine twist. This very betrayal will become your initiation into emotional sovereignty. The universe chose this lesson because you're ready to elevate your relationships to a higher frequency. You can't take illusions with you where you're going. The people in your next chapter will match your truth, not manipulate your light. But for that to happen, the old dynamic had to collapse. So don't see this as the destruction of trust, see it as its purification. You're learning that trust is not blind belief in others. It's unshakable belief in yourself. When you trust your intuition fully, deceit can approach but never enter. And that's where you're heading. Into a life guided not by appearances, but by vibration. Sagittarius, you've always been the philosopher of the zodiac. The one who searches for meaning even in heartbreak. Here is your meaning. This woman came into your life to show you where your love needed boundaries, where your optimism needed discernment, and where your heart needed its own protection. She was never a curse. She was a mirror. And now that mirror is shattering so you can finally see yourself clearly again. The revelation will not end you. It will renew you. The truth will not close your heart. It will cleanse it. And when all is said and done, you'll realize that losing one deceptive connection was the price of gaining yourself back. Whole, wise, untouchable. The return of discernment. Sagittarius, the truth that once broke you open is now beginning to rebuild you. You are stepping into a new season of awareness, one where your heart is no longer an open gate for anyone who knocks, but a sacred temple where only those who vibrate in truth are allowed to enter. The woman who deceived you came to teach you one of the most profound lessons of your journey. Love without boundaries becomes self-betrayal, and generosity without discernment becomes self-erasure. What you're feeling right now, the mixture of sadness, disbelief, and sudden clarity, is your spirit recalibrating to a higher level of truth. For the first time in a long while, you're not seeing people through the lens of potential, but through the evidence of energy. You're no longer seduced by words or gestures. You're attuned to intention. You can sense manipulation now as easily as you sense a storm approaching. You can feel the difference between someone who wants to walk beside you and someone who wants to walk through you. This is discernment, Sagittarius, and it's not born of cynicism but of evolution. You'll notice how your body begins to respond differently. When someone lies, you'll feel it as a subtle tension in your solar plexus. When someone drains you, your energy will contract. When someone speaks truth, you'll feel expansion, a warmth that flows effortlessly. This is your intuitive language, one you once silenced to protect others' feelings. But from now on, you'll listen to it as if your soul's safety depends on it, because it does. The woman who used your kindness will likely reappear, not out of guilt but out of habit. Manipulators rarely surrender their source of energy easily. She may reach out, using one of her familiar tactics: nostalgia, apology, or crisis. She might say, "I've changed," or "You misunderstood me," or "I can't believe you'd think that of me." And for a fleeting moment, you might feel the pull again, that same magnetic urge to make peace, to fix, to understand. But this time, your intuition will rise before your empathy does. You'll remember how peace with her always came at the cost of your own inner balance. You'll recognize that the kind of love you gave her was never meant to be begged for or bartered. It was meant to be shared freely, equally, with someone capable of giving it back. There will also be moments when guilt tries to disguise itself as compassion. You'll wonder if you're being too harsh, too guarded, too distant. But remember, boundaries are not cruelty. They are clarity. They don't punish others, they protect your light. Every no you say to someone who drains you is a yes to your peace, your purpose, your authenticity. And Sagittarius, your authenticity is sacred. In the quiet that follows the separation, you'll feel a strange emptiness, the space where that dynamic once lived. Don't rush to fill it. Let it breathe. Let solitude become your sanctuary instead of your punishment. Because in this stillness, your energy begins to regenerate. Your creativity will return stronger than ever. Your curiosity about life will reignite. The fatigue that had been sitting like fog over your spirit will start to lift. You'll realize that what you mistook for emotional exhaustion was actually energetic depletion, the slow drain of feeding someone who never intended to feed you back. As your strength returns, so will your optimism, but this time it will be rooted in wisdom. You'll begin to attract people who resonate with this new vibration. Those who don't need you to shrink to feel secure. Those who see your light not as competition but as collaboration. These souls will feel different. They won't demand your energy. They'll match it. They won't manipulate your compassion. They'll reciprocate it. The woman who deceived you once symbolized your lower frequency of giving, one born of obligation and the need to prove your worth. The people coming next will symbolize your higher frequency, one born of overflow and self-respect. And that is how the universe works, Sagittarius. Every betrayal is a boundary initiation. Every heartbreak is a refinement of truth. You didn't lose something precious. You were redirected toward purity. You've been freed from illusion so that you can now experience what real soul-aligned connection feels like. Don't hate the woman who betrayed you. Pity her ignorance, yes, but bless her role in your awakening. She showed you the shadow side of your own compassion, the part that believed love was unconditional even when it was unreciprocated. That part of you needed to die for a wiser version to be born. She was simply the instrument of that transformation. And as painful as it feels, she gave you something no loyal friend ever could. She forced you to meet your own discernment face to face. One day soon, you'll look back on this chapter with a kind of reverent gratitude. You'll realize that without it, you would still be dimming your light for people who fear their own reflection. You would still be mistaking intensity for intimacy, emotional dependency for devotion. You would still be trying to fix others instead of freeing yourself. This was your divine intervention, Sagittarius. A celestial boundary set in motion by your higher self the moment it decided you deserved better. And when she crosses your mind again, as she inevitably will, don't curse her name or replay the betrayal. Simply whisper, "Thank you for the lesson. I release you now." Because that's what freedom sounds like. Sagittarius, this is not a story about deception. It's a story about rebirth. You've returned to your truth. Unguarded but unshakable, compassionate but no longer naive. You've learned the sacred difference between being kind and being consumed. And that difference will protect you for the rest of your life. The sacred closure. Take a deep breath, Sagittarius. Feel that subtle calm rising from within, the kind that follows truth, not chaos. You've walked through the fire of deception and emerged purified, not burned. This wasn't just a betrayal story. It was a ceremony of clarity. What shattered was illusion. What remains is essence. You now understand that not everyone who smiles deserves your trust, and not everyone who cries deserves your rescue. You've learned that love without discernment drains the soul, and kindness without boundaries invites manipulation. But instead of letting this turn your heart to stone, it has made your compassion more intentional. A higher form of love that knows where to stop giving. The woman who deceived you was a chapter, not the story. She played her role in sculpting your wisdom. The universe didn't send her to punish you. It sent her to polish you. Every pain she caused has become a mirror showing you where your own strength was waiting to awaken. And now that awakening is complete. From this moment forward, your energy will no longer chase validation. It will attract resonance. Your light will no longer dim for comfort. It will expand for truth. You will meet people who reflect the same integrity you fought so hard to reclaim. So close your eyes and whisper to your soul. I release what was false. I protect what is sacred. I trust myself again. That is the true ending, Sagittarius. Not revenge, not closure from them, but peace within you. Because the revelation wasn't meant to destroy your faith. It was meant to return it, not to others but to yourself.